Welcome to the Omnidental podcast. Today we're doing a deep dive into something vital, a connection many of us are starting to grasp, but maybe not its full depth. I'm talking about the really profound link between your oral health and your overall wellness. Our sources today, they don't just say that your mouth is connected to your body. They get into the how and the why, the mechanisms, the implications. It really changes how you think about, just brushing your teeth.
That's absolutely right. For a long time, I think dental care felt separate, didn't it? Like this isolated part of our health. But the science, well, it's overwhelmingly clear now. Things that seem small, like your daily dental habits, can actually have pretty significant system-wide effects. So our goal today is really to unpack how that happens, give you some insights that go beyond just brush twice a day.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And as we explore this whole interconnected picture of health, we're really pleased to partner with Omnidental. They're based right there in Arlington Heights, Illinois. And their whole approach seems to perfectly mirror this comprehensive view we're talking about.
It really does. Omnidental and Dr. Belis Poles leading the way there. They've built their practice on a philosophy that looks at the whole patient. It's not just about fixing a tooth. It's about your overall well-being, both dental and general health. Their commitment fits perfectly with this idea of integrated care.
Okay, let's dive in then. We hear this phrase, the mouth is a gateway to the body. But for some people, it still feels quite contained. How does a problem in your mouth, actually spread and affect your whole system?
Yeah, it's a great question because it's easy to think of the mouth as separate, but it's anything but isolated. It's full of bacteria, billions of them, some good, some not so good. When your oral hygiene slips, maybe leading to gum disease like gingivitis or the more serious periodontitis,
Hmm.
well, those harmful bacteria don't just stay put.
Oh,
They can actually get into your bloodstream. Think of your bloodstream as like a highway system. These bacteria and the inflammatory stuff they produce can travel all over your body. They can reach vital organs, potentially cause harm far away from your mouth, and importantly, trigger a body-wide inflammatory response.
so it's not only the germs themselves causing trouble everywhere, but also how our body reacts to them.
Precisely. Often it's that chronic, low-grade inflammation sparked by the oral issues that becomes the bigger long-term problem systemically. And, this connection is especially critical if you're already managing a chronic condition. Think about folks with diabetes or heart disease, even some respiratory illnesses. Poor oral health can seriously complicate things for them, make managing their condition much harder.
Right. Okay, this is where it gets really fascinating. Let's talk specifics. Can you give us an example of a connection that might really surprise people beyond just that general gateway idea?
Sure. One of the most studied and really significant links is between gum disease, periodontal disease, and heart health. This isn't just, unhealthy mouth. We're talking chronic inflammation in the gums. Research has actually found specific bacteria from the mouth, like Porphyromonas gingivalis, inside the plaque buildup in arteries.
Wow, really?
Yes, so that ongoing inflammation in your gums basically provides an entry point for bacteria to keep going into the bloodstream.
Hmm.
This directly fuels inflammation in the arteries themselves. It contributes to atherosclerosis, that hardening and narrowing of the arteries, and over time that significantly bumps up your risk for serious things like heart attacks and strokes.
So we're not just talking about cavities or bad breath. This is a genuine risk factor for heart disease. That really hammers home why keeping up with oral health, brushing, flossing, those regular dental checkups isn't just like optional hygiene. It's truly a crucial part of protecting your heart too.
Absolutely crucial. And it's not just gum disease either.
Hmm.
Let's talk about tooth decay. Untreated cavities can lead to pretty nasty infections, abscesses in the tooth or bone.
Hmm.
These become little reservoirs of harmful microbes.
Okay.
And just like with gum disease, these bacteria can spread through the body. What's concerning here is that these persistent, localized infections can put a constant strain on your immune system. They can sort of weaken its overall effectiveness, potentially making you more vulnerable to other infections or illnesses elsewhere in the body.
So it's like a domino effect. A
Hmm.
seemingly small cavity, if ignored, could snowball into a much bigger health issue, especially if someone's already dealing with something else.
Exactly. If you don't treat them, these dental infections can lead to genuinely serious health problems, particularly for people with existing conditions or maybe a weakened immune system. It's a systemic ripple effect, a constant low-level battle draining your body's resources. And speaking of systemic effects, this idea of chronic inflammation is really central. When your gums are persistently inflamed, it doesn't just damage tissue locally, it ramps up your body's overall inflammatory response. It creates this state of generalized chronic inflammation.
Like a constant low buzz of alarm bells going off throughout your system. So what other kinds of broader health problems are linked to this chronic inflammation originating in the mouth?
That's a good way to think about it. Studies consistently show strong links between chronic gum disease and a higher risk for other major systemic diseases. We're talking about conditions like diabetes, for instance. Gum disease can make controlling blood sugar much harder, and high blood sugar can worsen gum disease. It's a two-way street. There are also established links to autoimmune conditions, like rheumatoid arthritis. And there's growing research looking into connections with certain cancers, even things like cognitive decline, like Alzheimer's. It really just highlights how much your oral health impacts your total health picture, not just one isolated part.
That is definitely a lot to take in. So flipping this around, what does it mean for us day to day? What are the simple, practical things we can actually do that make a real difference for our overall wellness, starting right there in our mouths?
Well, the good news is the basics we've always heard about, they're incredibly powerful. First, brushing. Twice a day, fluoride toothpaste. That's your main line of defense against plaque and decay. Simple, but critical. Second, flossing. Daily. You absolutely have to floss to get the plaque and bits of food from between your teeth and under the gum line. Your toothbrush just can't reach those spots.
Yeah, the spots where trouble often starts, right?
Exactly. That's where gum disease and cavities between teeth often begin. Third, regular dental visits. Professional cleanings and exams. These aren't just for making your teeth shiny. They're crucial for catching problems early before they become big issues. Your dentist or hygienist can spot things you'd never notice. And fourth, think about your diet. Limiting sugary foods and drinks is huge. Sugar feeds those bad bacteria, creates acid, and just ramps up your risk for cavities and gum problems.
It sounds so straightforward when you lay it out like that, but these simple, consistent habits really can prevent a lot of damage. And as we've heard, potentially reduce the risk of much more serious system-wide health conditions down the line. It's true preventative health.
It absolutely is. And what's really positive is seeing this shift in healthcare itself. More and more, doctors and dentists are recognizing how important it is to work together to coordinate care. The old silos are breaking down. For example, it's becoming standard practice for patients with diabetes to get screened regularly for gum disease by their doctor or dentist, and vice versa. Because we know these conditions affect each other so much, it's about treating the whole person.
That's such a positive shift, treating the whole patient, not just isolated symptoms. And this holistic view, this integrated approach, that sounds exactly like what OmniDental is all about. Can you tell us a bit more about how they operate?
Yes. OmniDental, with Dr. Billy's Poles at the helm, really exemplifies this. They're a family dental practice in Arlington Heights, Illinois. And they're deeply committed not just to fixing immediate dental problems, but to supporting their patients' long-term overall health. It shows in their patient-first approach, the personalized treatment plans they create, making sure appointments are comfortable. They also invest heavily in advanced technology. This means care is precise, efficient, and importantly, more comfortable, whether it's a simple filling or something more complex.
So their philosophy lines up perfectly with this whole body health connection. What about the services they offer? Does their range support this comprehensive idea?
Definitely. OmniDental covers a really wide spectrum. Of course, there's general dentistry, everything from deep cleanings, sealants, fillings, root canals. But they also focus on cosmetic dentistry things, Invisalign clear aligners, professional teeth whitening. And for more complex needs, they handle dental implants, including full arch reconstructions like all-on-4, laser therapy for gum disease, even appliances for sleep apnea. They really cover the gamut, from extractions to crowns and bridges too.
And I saw they also offer aesthetic and wellness treatments. That's interesting. How does that fit into a dental practice's holistic view?
Yeah, that's where you really see their commitment to total well-being. OmniDental understands that feeling good about yourself, looking your best, is also part of overall health and confidence. So alongside their top-notch dental care, they integrate aesthetic and wellness services. This includes things like injectables for facial aesthetics, advanced skin treatment like microneedling or hydrofacials, even some body treatments. It's all part of caring for the whole person, recognizing that all these aspects of health are interconnected.
That's truly comprehensive, embracing that link between a healthy mouth, overall wellness, and even how we feel aesthetically. For our listeners who might be in that area, where exactly is OmniDental and what communities do they typically serve?
Sure. OmniDental is located at 305 E Rand Road in Arlington Heights, Illinois. That's zip code 60004. And they serve Arlington Heights, obviously, but also many of the surrounding communities,
Mm.
places like Buffalo Grove, Palatine, Mount Prospect, Rolling Meadows, also Schaumburg, Wheeling, Des Plaines, and Elk Grove Village. So pretty wide reach in that area. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 10:00 a.m. to 6:00 p.m.
Okay. So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for you, our listener? This deep dive really shows that taking care of your mouth, it's truly fundamental for your entire well-being. It's not just about having a nice smile, it's about supporting a healthy heart, a strong immune system, making sure your whole body works as well as it can.
And the advice is pretty clear and actionable, thankfully. Brush consistently, every day. Make those dental checkups a priority. And please, don't ignore the early warning signs your body gives you, like bleeding gums or bad breath that won't go away. Addressing those things early can genuinely make a huge difference for your health down the road. Your future self will definitely thank you.
We really encourage you to think more about this vital connection between your oral health and your overall health. Consider your own oral health routine not as a separate chore, but as a critical, integrated part of taking care of your total wellness.
So here's a thought to leave you with. If your mouth really is the gateway to your body, what steps, what daily actions can you take starting today to make sure the gateway isn't just clean, but is actively helping to protect everything beyond it?
And if you're inspired to experience this integrated approach to dental and aesthetic care firsthand, we highly recommend reaching out to Omni Dental. You can give them a call at 847-483-8833, or you can find more information and even book an appointment online. It's a great first step towards a healthier smile and really a healthier you.